Hey, everybody. Having some technical difficulties this morning. I don't know what's going on. Does it look like everything's working? Let me know in the chat there. Yes. Oh, Charlotte says yes. Yay. And Dan's in there and Michelle. And I think earlier I saw Nancy come in. Yeah, Nancy's in there too. Awesome sauce. Here we are, Monday, March 18th, 2024. This is our first of our daily shows. What I mean by that is the shows we do like Monday through Thursday and maybe Friday this week because Catherine and everybody's on vacation, and she was sick a couple of times and we're waiting for her pre-recorded shows from March. But next month in April, she should be back live on Fridays. Meanwhile, some of the Fridays, I missed one or two, but some of the Fridays I've been trying to fill in doing a live show. And we've started doing something new here, actually. Oh, hi, Jamie. Jamie's in there. We started doing something new. We're trying it out where we don't have the phone lines. Yes, which, by the way, I forgot to change that in the scroll. Just dawned on me. I still got the call in number in there. So let's go down to the scroll, and I'm gonna take that out so people don't get confused. There, hopefully that's better. So it'll still tell you about our sale that we have going on, psychic.cafe/sale, where you can get our membership for 75% off. And if you scroll down a little bit on the page, my readings are 50% off. Yeah. You can also grab me a cup of coffee. That's right. If you're enjoying the shows, maybe you got a good reading, you just want to send us some love, or if you want to get pushed to the top of the caller queue, here it is right here. Psychic.cafe/coffee. Uh, and Ellie's in there, new subscriber. Yay. Oh, I should tell everybody that at the beginning. Thanks for reminding me, Ellie, because I always forget. And usually it's the very end of the show that I pop up the please subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe to the channel. Let me take a look real quick here on YouTube, right on our channel. By the way, the secret way to get to our channel is you go psychic.cafe/YouTube. Yeah, takes you right over there. And we are sitting at, oh, we got more. We're sitting at 471 subscribers. We need 29 subscribers. We'll hit 500. That's the first tier of the monetization. We'll be able to do super chats and everything. It's not just subscribers, though. We have 611 videos. Oh my God. It's also watch hours. We're almost halfway to our 3,000 watch hours. So we need to get them up in there too. So if you're new to this, just type in your question in chat or ask me to pull a card. Yeah, there's no list to get on. You don't have to ask, can I get a reading? No, you just go, hey, Dax, could you please pull a card for me? Or say, hey, Dax, here's my question, and just do a couple of lines. Don't write a whole book, right? Try to be as concise as possible. So we're trying this out without the phone lines. We were having a lot of technical problems with Blog Talk, which has been rare over the last 14 years. But the last 2 weeks, crazy stuff. It was worse in the beginning of the year. I mean, we couldn't even get on. You would dial into the studio and it would hang up on you, or just not work at all, And what we've been experiencing lately is people dial in and then it drops their calls. Like I'll see like 3 or 4 calls go, you know, and then sometimes they call back in, sometimes they don't. Then we've been having some crank calls. Yes. Over 14 years, I can tell you, man, we had maybe three, you know, crank callers. That's when, people call in and they want to F bomb you, or, they want to say something silly, and yeah, we never used to get that, but we are now. So, that combined with the fact that Blog Talk is often dropping our callers, and combined with the fact that it is a technical setup. I mean, we have to dial into the switchboard on the studio for Blog Talk, and we have to dial into our Zoom. We're on Zoom here. And then we have to merge the calls, do a conference call so that we can get the calls from the switchboard on Blog Talk into the Zoom. And then we have to transmit the Zoom to the YouTube studio and then out to all of you. Yes. And it requires a dialing in. And it's not just that. It's like YouTube, scrambles the code for each meeting. So you have to put in the meeting ID, you have to put in, the password. You have to do the same thing on Blog Talk. It is a pain in the rump, to do that. And we love having the phone lines, and we're still doing it on the weekends. We're still doing it for custom shows. So Michelle's Mystic Corner, Catherine's Compassionate Light Show on Fridays when she gets back here. And what else? Maria's the Angelic View. We just had one yesterday. It was great. We had a lot of fun. Oh, and if Sharona returns after her winter break with Magic Universe, so like everybody that has their own show with their own show title and everything, they can decide for themselves if they want to do Blog Talk. Most of them want the phone lines. So, we still have Blog Talk and we're still using it. Ellie and I use it on Saturday, for instance. And so, for the custom shows and for the weekend shows that I do to fill in between custom shows on Saturdays and Sundays, we're still going to have the phone lines unless it gets ridiculous. If it gets more technical issues, more crank calls, I'll pull the plug on it completely. At least on the Psychic Talk daily shows. Now, the custom shows, again, that's going to be up to the individual hosts. They're paying for this technology, and so if they they want to have the phone line, if they want to have the phone lines, we're going to have the phone lines. But I'm trying this as an experiment. I was talking with Dan and Charlotte and Michelle, and they all said, hey, why don't you try a week or two not doing the phone lines? So started that towards the end of last week, and we're going to go through this whole week, and it's a test. I mean, I may not like it, and I may want my phone lines back. I don't know. It's an experiment, right? Let's experiment. It's fun. But let me tell you, this is what I found so far on the shows that we have not had the phone lines. They've run much smoother. Okay, so we're setting up the show, and obviously we have to set up the OBS. That's what lets me put in the cool little factors on here. And by the way, I'm seeing and this is the one that I had the technical difficulties on, folks. Yeah, let me adjust in here, because after we fixed it, it kind of messed everything up. There we go. I got it fixed. So the OBS studio allows us to, put our scroll in and our logos and all that cool stuff and pop things up on the screen. And, we really kind of need that. And also our banners, popping up our banners so we can show you things going on the network, and Psychic Talk, and Psychic Cafe, the Tarot Guild, the International Association of Angel Practitioners, which we talked about yesterday on Maria's show. That's what we were having problems with. That's what it had an update, and you know what happens with technology? You have an update to something, and suddenly it doesn't work. So I had to scramble to get that working, and that's why we're late starting the show today. And so I would, set up the Zoom and get it into the YouTube studio. And then we're ready to click the button and go live, and that's all it was. I didn't have to set up all that stuff with Blog Talk. In addition to that, I don't have to go back and forth between the YouTube studio with the chat here with all you guys in it and the Blog Talk studio with the caller lines in the switchboard. So I don't have to go back and forth. And also, it means I can stay here in the chat and not get lost. Every time I come back from the Blog Talk studio and the switchboard, I have to, reread everything and see where we are and find the questions. I found over the days last week where we only did YouTube, it's so much smoother, you know. Also, once we do get super chats, that's how we're going to do things. So basically, um, you have a question, you do a super chat. And what's neat about that is it puts all the questions in a queue, and you don't have to remember. You don't have to go back and look through the old chat to find all the questions and everything. It's all in this other queue. At least that's what Ellie tells me. And then you just click and it pops it up on screen and you answer their question, and it's monetized, so you're doing a $5, $10, $15, $20 super chat, you know and we're going to take all of those before we get to any free ones. Okay, so that's the future. Now that may take us 6 months or a year to get to that point. I don't know how long it's going to take us to accrue 3,000 watch hours. We only need what did I say, 29? We're down, it was 31 the other day, now we're down to 29 people to actually subscribe to the channel. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done that. And like the videos, because that really helps. Dan tells me he's in the middle of going through watching all 611 of our videos. And it's really cool. If you guys go in on our channel, you're going to find like free workshops and all this other stuff besides these shows. And you can, there's playlists, and you might have to hit the button and scroll over to the end of the playlist where the workshops are. Go in there, find a workshop or two or three that you like, that you're interested in, and watch them from the beginning to the end and like them. And you will not believe how that'll help us. So watch hours, and the algorithm likes the likes and everything like that. Yeah. So that's something we may be going to in the future. And once we do that, I don't see a reason to really hang on to Blog Talk at that point. It's part of our history. We've been on there for 14 years, but we're trying this out where we are just here in YouTube, in the chat with you guys. We're going to try this all week long and see what happens and everything. So just so you guys know, no phone lines. Let's see. Gotta scroll back here. I know I saw some people popping in like seashells, and Dasha's back. Hi, Dasha. So hey, uh I know some people were asking about they say, could I have a reading? And I just mentioned that. You must have came in right after I said that. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is type in your question. Be very, very specific. In fact, I prefer specific questions. Ask me something specific. Now, if you want something general, or like Nancy's asking a card for the next 3 months, yeah, just pop that in. Dax, please pull a card for me. Or Dax, can you tell me what's happening for the next 3 months? Pull a card for each month or something like that. Yeah, we can do that too. Awesome sauce. So yeah, I'm liking this already. We have our regulars. We have a lot of people, jumping in here. I don't know how long we're going to go today. We're going to play it by ear on these shows, like this week, Monday through Friday. We're just going to play it by ear. Once we get done with questions in chat and we've done everything, that might be the end of the show. Some shows we've gone 2 hours. I'm trying to cut back on that a little bit. Which reminds me, if you want to make sure that we get to your question, let me go over here and pop up the coffee banner for you, psychic.cafe/coffee. That takes you to our coffee page. It's our tip jar, basically. And so feel free to send in a donation, $10, $15. there's buttons for that. And we really appreciate it. Send us some love if you're enjoying the shows, if you like hanging out with us every day here in the cafe, chit chatting in the chat room. Maybe you learn something new. We do teaching moments through all the shows, and it's a lot of fun. And plus, you can ask any question you want about tarot and numerology and so forth like that. So just go over to psychic.cafe/coffee and you can grab me a cup of coffee. Also, that's how you get to the top of the caller queue. So yeah, so basically you go over there, buy a cup of coffee, and in the chat say, "Hey Dax, just bought you a cup of coffee, and I take your question right now. Stop everything, no waiting. Like I haven't even done the cards of the day, numerology of the day. I would skip that, go right to your question, take your question first, and I'll spend more time with you. I'll even let you ask a little more about that particular topic that you're asking about, pull more cards even. And yeah, that's how we're working that until we get the super chats. So psychic.cafe/coffee. It's scrolling by right here. And if you miss it, it'll come back around in just a second. And you can send me a cup of coffee and say, "Hey, Dax, I sent you a cup of coffee," and we will go ahead and take you first. That's how you do it. It's the super secret way. I guess not that secret because we just told everybody. Okay, so in the beginning, Nancy was asking a question. Before I go to that, though, it's the 18th. So we know what that means. 1 + 8 is 9. It's the end of a cycle. This is a great time to, and by the way, it's kind of reflected in the cards that I got today. Yeah, it's the end of a cycle. So we're going to start a new cycle tomorrow. There's going to be one energy tomorrow. And basically, it's like, what's no longer serving you? Are there habits no longer serving you? Beliefs, belief systems, uh, relationships, whether it's interpersonal, it could be romantic relationships, can be friends, coworkers, whatever, anything that's not no longer serving you, what can you cut out, basically? And then I got the high priestess and the 8 of cups. There you go. So what we're getting here is we got somebody walking away, which fits in with that 9 energy really good. And we've got the high priestess talking about tapping into your psychic ability, your intuition, your gut instincts on things. And so, a couple of things. One, the entire date adds up and reduces to 2, which is relationship energy, right? Partnerships, mediation, and so forth. And the high priestess is card 2. I love that. That is just amazing. So, like, this is the walking away, like the 9 energy, even though it's 8, which is abundance. And by the way, sometimes that's how you get to abundance. That's why a card, people ask me that about the numerological associations with tarot. Like, why would a card like this, the 8 of cups, be an 8 card, have that 8 energy of abundance and then be, depicting this? Because that's the secret way to get there. Yes, you got to let go of the baggage, right? And so this is suggesting using your intuition and your gut instincts on something that you need to move away from. Okay, you might need to do that, and then also notice the both the High Priestess card has connections to the moon, and the 8 actually, the 8 of cups actually has the moon in here. Notice it's an interesting moon because it's depicting both a crescent moon and a full moon. So there's that lunar connection between these two cards as well. So what else did I want to say? I think there was something. Oh, the other thing is I wanted to mention about um hang on just a second. Let me bring my notes up. When we were having the technical difficulties, I had to restart and I literally lost everything that was on the screen and I didn't get everything back up. Like the show notes, I'm trying to get and it's not cooperating here. There it is. Okay, got the show notes up. Um so the other thing is this moon connection, and I wanted to mention, and oh, by the way, the reason for that crescent and full moon is it's showing cycles. It's showing the cycles, and like the Wheel of Fortune card that I discussed last week, um, it's telling you that you not only do you need to let go of these things, and it's cups, so it's emotions. So not only do you need to let go of these emotional attachments, but you need to be aware of the cycles, and that's going to lead you to the abundance here. But trust your gut instincts, trust your psychic insights and abilities on this. But with the moon, I had mentioned it on Maria's show yesterday that I got the moon card yesterday, and I told everybody try this experiment all week long, and then see what happens, and if nothing, but if something happens, let us know on the show, and then if nothing happens initially, hey, do it another week. Sometimes dealing with the subconscious in your dreams, it takes a little while, right? So what it is basically is saying three words as you're going to sleep at night. So you've shut off the light, you climb in bed, you're laying your head down on the pillow, and you're about to drift off. And that's really a great time to get in contact with your subconscious mind. And you can program your dreams, and you can also ask for information you need. You can talk to your subconscious about things you want to change, habits, things like that. It's like doing hypnotherapy on yourself, because that's what you do in hypnosis. You're getting into a well, you don't have to get that deep. It's actually like a light alpha state, really, is all you need. There are much deeper levels that you can get into in a controlled hypnotic induction, but you don't really need that. And so you're going into this light alpha state and you say wealth, health, and success. I would say it kind of slow at first. Wealth, health, and success. And we have our eyes closed. We're getting ready to fall asleep. Wealth, health, success. It's almost like an affirmation. But like I said on the show yesterday, you don't want to do a typical affirmation like I am wealthy, I have great health, I am successful, so that because the subconscious mind might take that as a lie, something that's not true. It may say, uh, but we're not wealthy, but we're not successful, but our health is shit. Uh, that might happen. Here, let me take some water. Getting a little. So try that experiment. And what we're going to do is see if you manifest anything. Stay away from full affirmations, just do the words. The subconscious will get it. The subconscious is smarter and more powerful than you think, you know, and just say the wealth, health, and success over and over, and just until you fall asleep. If um, I did it last night several times, and just see what happens over the next week doing that. It's an experiment I'm trying, and you guys are the guinea pigs. So come back every day and report if anything happens, anything um unusual, or surprising regarding your wealth, health, or success. Basically, like I said yesterday, I had seen a YouTube video on this, and I wanted to try it a while ago, but I keep forgetting. But the moon card fell out of the deck, flew out of the deck, and this experiment came to mind right away from that moon card showing up. And in the YouTube video, he talks about somebody else that did this experiment, and you know, was having trouble financially and such, and had a $25,000 windfall, totally unexpected. After a few days of doing this wealth, health, and success. Actually, he was just saying wealth, success, wealth, success, wealth, success. And you can do it that way if you want. I threw in the health part because if you don't have health, doesn't matter how much wealth, right? So and it kind of, flows nicely, rhymes there, wealth, health, success. Or I say it wealth, health, and success. There you go. Okay, so that's the cards of the day, numerology of the day, everything going on. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Ashika popped in there, and I think Seashells. Yeah, Seashells put their question in. Okay, we're going to get to all your questions. I'm scrolling back to the top here. We're going to start with Nancy, of course. And oh, let's see. Okay. So the next 3 months. Now we're at the 18th. So uh middle of the month to middle of the month, so like I don't know. That's what was going through my mind when I pulled the card. So I'm gonna say middle of March, where we are now to like the 18th of April. And the next card will be 18th of April to what? 18th of May, then to 18th of June. So I'm loving this. This next 30, 31 days, whatever, is, really the time to let your hair down and celebrate, you know, nights out with the girls and just hanging out, letting your hair down, and this is as down as my hair gets. Um, Dancing and having some drinks, enjoy some wine, what have you. And it's the three energy, creativity and communication. So over the next 30 days, basically what it is a recharge, okay? And to start delving into communication, think about how you communicate with people, and letting your creativity flow. So, in other words, anything that you are working on or worried about or trying to manifest, or the next job or a better situation, or you know uh, the next person that you're going to have a relationship with, date, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know and all that kind of stuff, and things going on. Basically, you want to put it all on the back burner and say, I'm not worrying about this stuff this month. I'm going to have a good time. If you're trying to figure something out, once you stop looking for it and just have a good time, it'll pop in your head the answer you're looking for. And then take the time to be creative. The next 30 days from the middle of April to May is the Six of Cups, the nostalgia card. There may be folks from earlier in your life showing up, or your childhood showing up. It's a six energy, so it's success. So you can really tap into your success over those next 30 days. But you may be reconnecting with folks from the past. It could be friends, it could be a past lover, it could be, anything along those lines. Also, whenever this card comes up, I like to remind people that what we found is and again, success, six, where does success come from? It comes from when we can tune in to what really made our eyes light up when we were like 6, 7, 8 years old. What was it you were interested in? What were you drawn to? And if you can reconnect with that, that often leads to success. In the middle of May to middle of June, 30 days, I'm getting the 5 energy, 5 of wands. Five is a very powerful number. You can get a lot done. It's kind of the chaos that's between the 4 and the 6 that's necessary to break us free from the false, how do you put it, the false structure of 4. It's not false. I mean, when you get to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you've manifested and you have structure at 4. It's not that it's false, but I call it false because we think that's the penultimate. We get there and okay, we're done. We manifested that and everything's great, but we don't realize that there's the real abundance is yet to come, because you have 6, 7, 8 is abundance and prosperity. 8 is double 4. You don't want to stop at 4. You want to get to the 8, and then 9 is the end of the cycle. That's when you let go of things that aren't working for you, and then you start a whole new cycle over again and start manifesting again. And that's what that 1 through 9 is in numerology. And you need that chaos sometimes. And 5 is change, both in numerology and tarot. Okay. And this is wands, so it's the fire energy. It's like, what are you passionate about? Which is what I was getting you to find by going back in your childhood. What is it you're passionate about, right? Now, even though it can get chaotic, and it looks kind of chaotic in this card, notice that. And the connections, sometimes the connections between tarot and numerology are subtle, but sometimes they're just like really obvious, and it's supposed to be, because the tarot is a numerological system, numerological slash the 5 platonic solids, the elements plus numerology, the numbers, gives you tarot. That's what it is, folks. It's a structure. And so you have a lot of energy in that last 30 days to the middle of June. Take advantage of that, because you could really make a lot of progress, Nancy, with your projects and what you're passionate about, things like that. Be careful of things spiraling down into chaos. Now you're aware, you've been warned. If things start getting like that, you go, oh, that's right, Dax said the 5 energy. Okay, so I need to set an intention that I'm going to use the high energy of 5 to get things done, and things are going to go smoothly. Set the intention right away, versus, so that'll be the middle of May going into June. So versus just letting things happen, and that's when it's going to spiral down into chaos. It also looks like they're trying to build something. You got a bunch of guys here with poles. I always think they're trying to erect a tent or something like that, but they didn't read the instructions. So, it can also obviously mean there might be some kind of, battle. Are they battling, or are they just poorly trying to put something together? Erector set. I don't know uh, but, um, there could be arguments. There could be, and that's kind of, whenever there's things like that, disagreements and so forth, that's kind of chaotic. It fits in with the 5 energy, right? So just be aware of that. And so that's the next 3 months, as per request. Charlotte says, for a Monday, things are going okay. Yeah. I started the show late, Charlotte, and maybe that's what it was. It's like, I got to tell everybody that I'm going to start at 11 Pacific, but not really start till quarter after. And then that way it'll give time to everybody come in and get into the chat room, because everybody was, not everybody that's here now, but a whole bunch of people were already in the chat before I hit that, you know, start button there on the show. Let's see what else is going on in there. Nancy said, thank you. You're the best. Yeah. And let me scroll back to Nancy's question, and I'll start scrolling down from there. Let's see here. So before I do that, real quick, I did want to mention this sale because it's a St. Patrick's sale, which was yesterday, and I don't know how long this is going to be up. I don't even know if it's still up. You guys might have to go over to mariagmoss.com and check it out. But basically, Maria announced this yesterday. It's a flash sale, and she put her certified angel practitioner course on sale. It's $222. She has it on sale for 50% off. Oh yeah, 7 days. So it'll be going for 7 days. I forgot about that part. So lucky 7 sale for St. Patty's Day, 50% off for 7 days. And so that would be what? $111. The angel number 111. So it's normally 222, $222, but it's on sale for 111 right now. And you don't have to get certified. You can just take the course to learn how to work with your angels. But you could become a practitioner, get certified, do readings on Psychic Cafe, come on and do angel readings here on the shows. You can come on as a guest co-host. That's right. Just join the guild. We have the lifetime membership going right now, and you can join us here or become a host. We have hosting packages starting as low as $37 a month. Also, the first 7 to purchase this at the 50% off, they're going to get Maria's new book. Actually, it's her old book, but it's been revised, so it is very new. She's reworded stuff, put a whole bunch of new information in, and she's going to autograph it for you and ship it out to you. That's right. The first 7, I don't know how many people have signed up. I don't know if this is already gone, but there's a good chance there might be 1 or 2 left, So anyway, I just wanted to make sure that I pop that up for Maria. And while we're talking about that, I should mention that her book, there it is. I just mentioned how it's the revised edition. You can kind of see that. It's the last line right here. It says revised edition. And I also had let's see. Oh, got the wrong text in there. It's supposed to be angel book. So we'll change that real quick. There you go. Psychic.cafe/angel book. You can grab her book. I get a little tiny bit from Amazon myself, it's an affiliate link. And that's how you grab Maria's book. And hey, as long as I'm talking about books, I might as well also mention Understanding Tarot by one of our lifetime members of the guild, Pam Richards. And that's the one I had up, which was Understanding Tarot. It's a great book to start off with if you're new, especially if it's the Rider-Waite that you're drawn to. And that's, the deck that appears in a lot of books, but Pam is really focused on the Rider-Waite-Smith. Okay. The Waite-Smith, as I call it, so get a copy of the Waite-Smith deck. If you don't have it, you'll be able to read any deck after you study, but it's good to actually have a copy of the Waite-Smith. I mean, I recommend either the Radiant deck or this one, the gold foil, because it's PVC material. You can't destroy this. Great practice deck to start off with. It has the original Waite-Smith images. Yes. And oh, she also has this great group with 56,000 people on it, all learning tarot. And I think it's group understanding will take you there. The group's the same name as the book, Understanding Tarot, on Facebook. But this URL that I made will take you over there. This URL that I made, psychic.cafe/group understanding, will take you over there. And then there's mine. That's to go to my page and talk to me in between shows. And let's see. Okay. And I'm trying to find the book cover so I can make it go away. It didn't want to go away. Um, just a few announcements there. And let's see. Ellie had a question after Nancy, I believe. Hello, new subscriber. Wondering if you could take my question. I want to ask where my relationship is headed with my current love connection. Love connection. Let's see. This is very odd. So I'm getting all of these cards about uh, work and business, career. I'm not getting any love cards or, cup cards, relationship cards. I'm not, it's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Um, it, despite that, I think it's going in a good direction because I had that question kind of floating in my mind as I was pulling the cards, and I did get 4 out of 5 yes. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The central focus card in the center is the Two of Swords. Now, note that this is again two, like the High Priestess. And what's today's date? It reduces to what? Two, relationships and communication. Swords are thoughts and idea, and that's communicating. What is going on here? Um, Ellie, what's going on? It seems like and I don't know if you're conscious of this or not conscious of it, but it seems like there's two different paths you can go down. There's like two different ideas. You haven't committed to one or the other. You're either unable or unwilling to make a choice here. Why is that? I don't know. I'm just throwing this out. This has something to do with your relationship. Notice this is also one of the cards with the moon in it. Yes. So what's going on? Have you not fully committed? Have they not fully committed? I think that has a lot to do with what's going on and how you can, move forward. And then we got, all these pentacle cards. What is going on? So these two cards are on each side of the Two of Swords here. We got the Four of Pentacles, and hey, that can be good. That can be saving money and holding on to what one has. And the Eight of Pentacles, eight is abundance and being hard at work at something. Maybe you need to work on the relationship more. Hold on to what you have. Maybe one or both of you are distracted by work and you need to strike a better balance between work and relationships. Then I get wands cards on the outside of those. So again, recap. We got the main focus is this decision you have to make. Got Two of Swords. So thoughts and ideas in the middle. We got the Pentacle cards bookending that, and we've got the Wands cards bookending that. Very fascinating, There's something going on, right? And then Wands are, what are we passionate about? Okay. This looks like, the typical meaning of the Ten of Wands is being overburdened by something. But what's overlooked a lot is that the figure is making progress towards the goal, which is getting these wands to that house in the back. But for you, it's whatever goal you have. It might be the relationship, it might be something else. right? But you have too many irons in the fire, again, with the balance, with the relationship. And then this looks like being attacked from all sides. That's interesting to come up in the middle of a relationship question. But you have the high ground. Ultimately, I always think that the Seven of Wands is a positive card, not a negative card, because the figure has the high ground. The high ground wins. Sometimes this shows up saying, hey, you have to defend something important. In a relationship question, doing a spread on a relationship, it could mean you need to defend your position and establish more boundaries. So I hope that helps you out, Ellie. That was very interesting. That was very interesting. Jamie wants a love reading. Okay, Jamie, let's see what shows up here. What major events in my life can I expect to unfold in the near future? Major events. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Let's take a look. I mean, and when you say in the near future, how near is that? How near is that? I'm not seeing a lot of major, I'm not seeing what I could describe as, a major event. Like, if I was getting the Two of Cups or the Lover's card, maybe new romance is coming, you know, or something with the Pentacles or the Wands might be, letting me know that hey, you're going to be able to start this new business, or you're going to get this new job, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. The Three of Swords shows up, and it's like, oh wow, is there a love triangle going on? It looks like there's a major breakup. It looks like heartache, and I'm not getting stuff like that. Maybe it's because the way I asked the question, and so I kind of screwed things up. You know, um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over, because everything I was seeing really wasn't telling me much of anything. I wasn't seeing anything bad or good happening. So we'll do a little bit of shuffling. Anyway, I want to ask everybody. It's funny because we had trying to remember, when did we have the five energy? Can't remember right now, but it wasn't today, right? It's like, what's going on? Is anybody else having one of those days with the technology? I'm just curious if it's just me. You know, it's not even Mercury retrograde, is it? I mean, I don't do astrology, so if you guys do astrology, you have to tell me what's going on. Is something in retrograde, or something crossing something, and so there's like bad juju? I don't know. Let me know what's going on. Okay, and then we're going to end pretty soon here too, because although we got a late start, it's already been an hour. And then the other thing is all these technical problems, and it's like, hopefully it'll all clear up by tomorrow. Oh, but this has just been crazy, uh keeping me on my toes. I was surprised we were able to get back into the Zoom at all, to be honest with you, and from the Zoom into the YouTube studio into YouTube. There's a lot of connections there, and it could fail at any point. And when the Zoom, which I think it was the actual program on my computer, died, not Zoom itself or uh the YouTube studio. I don't think it was anything like that. I think it was something on my computer, and the OBS had, died. Wouldn't let me find the virtual camera or get anything working before the show started, which was total mess. That's a total mess. Okay. Let me scroll down here, see what everybody's saying. So Jamie says, I just meant like marriage, moving, traveling, Well, this is the thing. I don't mind pulling some cards and, we're just having fun here. This is for entertainment only. We never say that on the shows, but actually it's in the show notes. So we're covered, but a lot of people say that on the show, on their shows when they're, pulling cards. This is for entertainment only because there's jurisdictions where you have to say that, which I think is ridiculous, but we're just having fun, right, folks? So I don't mind pulling some cards and see what comes up and things like that. But in general, I if I was sitting across from you, and anybody who's listened to these shows for the last 14 years knows my point of view. And it's not everybody's point of view. Some people predict the future. That's all they do. I am a life coach and a hypnotherapist. I want to help people create the future. In fact, there's a saying that goes back to it was a computer scientist that he was the one that created the first GUI, graphical user interface. That is what all of us use. That's all of us are still using what he created, the GUI. We are using graphic user interfaces. So the computer garbage talk is being turned into visual components that we can click or type on, or things like that. And he said he was talking at a computer conference, and I think it was around 1971 or 73 or something like that. And he said the best way to predict the future is to create the future. Yeah. The best way to predict the future is to create the future. So if I was sitting across from you, Jamie, I would be asking you, well, do you want to get married? Do you want to move? Do you want to travel? How can we work on that? What's the next steps? And then we pull cards. Because predicting when someone's going to find the job, get married, all that stuff, it doesn't help you. It's not giving you any information on how to get there, or if it's an outcome you don't want, how to avoid it. That's the real power of tarot. The real power of tarot is that the images on the card interact with your subconscious mind, giving you information to allow you to steer your course, especially when it's a personal practice that you're reading for yourself at home. Some people have a hard time reading for themselves at home, or reading for themselves, period. That's what I meant to say. Okay, doing a lot of shuffling here to see what comes up for Jamie. Okay. Alrighty. And let's see. I'm looking for massive events. Which, hey, it's tarot cards. There's no events written on these cards. You have to extrapolate everything. But I'm looking to see if anything's showing up here. And again, I'm not seeing a whole lot. I'm not seeing a whole lot, but I'm going to tell you what I am seeing. First of all, the heart of the not the heart of the matter, but yeah, the heart of the matter card. When I was cutting before I drew cards, I cut to the heart of the matter, and the cards, the two of pentacles. Again, a 2 card, and it's a 2 date, right? And we're balancing finances here. Maybe you are doing an excellent job of balancing everything financially. Maybe you're not. This could be a warning coming up, or it could be just telling you to keep your eye on that. But ultimately, the very first card is the Magician card. Ultimately, you have the power to manifest anything you want. This goes back to what I was just talking about in my little, pre-pull conversation, where I was saying how, okay, do you want to manifest any of those things? So here it is, the actual tarot is pushing back on you a little, Jamie, going, Why are you even asking this? You have the power to manifest these things if that's what you want. Okay. And um there's a lot of people out there, and you can pop on other people's shows, and they'll do that type of reading. They'll, just laying out cards like Miss Cleo. Oh yes, here comes the tall dark stranger, and then you're going to take a trip to Europe, and this is going to happen, and that fortune telling. We don't do that here. And it may be disappointing to a lot of people because, like, oh, I thought that's all that we do with tarot. No, no. It's like it's probably not even the first thing uh, that people ever discovered with it. Um, but that said, you've got to decide if you're going to manifest things and what you want to manifest. However, I will say the Eight of Wands, Eight's abundance coming in. And a lot of times when this card shows up, it's things happening quickly, usually, but travel, air travel. This is one of the travel cards. Yeah. So, there's one thing that actually showed up, Now, this is the thing, the death card. This is, one of the only major arcana cards. We had the magician, but going through the rest of the spread, there's nothing except this. And this is a major change. So, Jamie, be careful what you ask for, because, here's a major change, and it's not literal death, folks. It's the death of an idea, or the death of a relationship, or the death of something. I mean, I'll, here's the thing about the death card. All modern tarot readers mostly will go, this is a card of transition. And it is. And that's what I think it is for you. And they'll say it never predicts death. That's not true either. It depends on the surrounding cards. It can come up when somebody just passed away. It's just not something to be afraid of. Okay. It's showing up, it's not like in 007, when Solitaire pulled the death card and, like, someone's going to die, and then 2 scenes later, someone died, live and let die. Someone died in the movie. It's like, it don't work that way. Okay. But it can come up, and really good tarot readers know that there are surrounding cards that'll allow you to know if this is meaning transition in a general sense, or about, something in your life versus an actual death. Okay. So in your case, especially with the cards I'm getting, there's this huge transition going on with you. So you asked for a major event. One, you asked about travel. I think you are going to be traveling by air, probably, because that is a travel by air card. Just like the what is it? I want to say the Seven of Swords, travel by boat, um, Wheel of Fortune, travel uh, by wheeled vehicle, along with the Chariot. Either one of those can indicate rail travel, car travel, you know, wagon and donkey. I don't know. Anyway, but you're going to have this major transition. But the big thing is, one door closes, but another door opens. So this is actually an opportunity coming up. And you see in the background the sun coming up. A new day is dawning for you, is what is going on. Okay. And then here we go. I got that Seven of Wands card again. All right. So you're in a good position. You are on solid ground. You are on the high ground. Okay. And you may have to defend your position in regards to all this. And then I get the Nine of Wands, another Wands card. Okay. So all of this may be talking about career, because I got 3 Wands cards. Um, the nine is, again, today's energy. Nine. What can you let go of? Okay. And the thing about the nine of wands, actually, they're staves, as you can see, and he's got eight of them. Eight is abundance, right? And he's holding the ninth one. And then behind him, those eight staves are in the ground, lined up nice and neatly. And these are all of your skills, passions, abilities, all lined up. You are, in a good place for this transition. And lastly, however, in order to do that, the Eight of Cups shows up, card of the day. Again, another eight. I'm getting eight a lot here. Eight cards, okay, I got the Eight of Wands, I've got the Eight of Cups. Eight is abundance and prosperity. This is your next, like a new chapter in your life. But it requires you to let go of some baggage you're holding on to so you can move onward and upward. By the way, there's another, I forgot to mention in the beginning of the show, there's another neat thing about this that no one ever talks about. One is the moon thing that I mentioned, and it's showing cycles, it's showing movement of time. Okay. And because of the different phases, you've got, full moon going into, a crescent moon, uh, passage of time. And another interesting thing, the Hermit card in tarot used to be Father Time. And there's actually a lot of people think there's a connection between this card and the Hermit card, that he's released all of his baggage, and he's moving up this hill right here, going up the hill. And a lot of people say that this is a young version of the Hermit going up the hill to his new solitary life. I just wanted to put that out there. Nothing necessarily to do with you, Jamie. It's just that was a little often never talked about thing about the Eight of Cups that I wanted to mention at the beginning of the show and completely forgot to mention. I did mention the moon and the phases, and that's part of, the passage of time. That's part of the connection with Father Time, with the Hermit card, and why people think this is the Hermit when he's young before he becomes the Hermit that we know. Okay. And it's 12:30. I got to get out of here soon. Um, and then Jamie asked, but if it's easier, just where's my relationship with Ryan going? Okay, so that's another question. So you're gonna have to ask that tomorrow or the next day or the next day. Come back in. And let me scroll back up here. Many thanks for everybody that joined us today. And, thanks for putting up with the technical issues. I'm going to see if I can kind of edit things, and we'll see what happens. Try to edit this a little bit. Gosh. Scrolling. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Seashells was my question is about the man I keep dreaming. Yeah, didn't you ask about this before, Seashells? That you keep dreaming about? Is this the guy that you're dreaming is supposed to be your soulmate? Or is this something different? It says she says it was an officer and he kissed me and keeps showing up in my dreams. Very interesting, especially because we talked so much about moon today and dreams. And don't forget the little exercise, the wealth, health, and success as you're going to sleep here. Um, oh God, this is really hilarious. I love when tarot does this. So the very first card, you dreaming about this is actually showing up. Now, typically this is like nightmare stuff, not somebody kissing them, so I'm not sure about that. But again, nine, again, the nine energy from today. And look, swords, thoughts, and ideas. Okay, when you got nine swords, you got way too many thoughts and ideas. Okay, you are overthinking this. Okay. And with it being the nine of swords and waking up in the middle of the night kind of thing, which it may not be your experience, but I think, oh, maybe, I don't know. But then the very next card is the lover's card. So it could be a love connection coming in. However, the very next card after that, the Five of Cups. Another one of those five cards. And this is the crying over spilt milk card. So, um, even if this is something that might manifest, you might not be happy with the ultimate outcome here. So, especially getting this one, the Nine of Swords, this is what I'm going to say, Seashells, is that you need to maybe instead of doing the exercise that I told everybody else to do, which don't forget, everybody, you have to come back and report on what happens over the next week in your life. From the moon card, the wealth, health, and success, saying wealth, health, and success. Wealth, health, and success. You don't have to say it out loud. It's like Michelle, you know, I can see Michelle and Dan laying in bed, both going, what wealth, health, and success. No, that's not, don't keep the other person up. It's like in your head, say to yourself as you're drifting off, wealth, health, and success. But for seashells, what I want you to do is I want you to program your dreams as you're drifting off. I want you to program, literally tell yourself self-conscious. Maybe you are self-conscious. Are you self-conscious about this? I know. Unconscious or subconscious is what I was trying to say. Okay, so say subconscious, I want to know what this dream is about, or word it in your own words how you want or what type of information you want to get. And wake up the next morning, have a pad and paper next to your bed, and write down everything you can remember from what you dreamed, and then do it the next night and the next night, and see how the dream changes, or totally new dreams come in, or new information comes in. And you say you keep showing up, so this is a continuous thing. So yeah, you want to start controlling the dream and seeing what new information you can get, and ask, what does this mean. Hope that helps you out. And oh, there was another connection to that. Will he show up in real life? Let's see. So I did get the Lover's card, which may indicate that he might show up. Let me take a look here. Okay. So it it is a possible scenario, seashells, because I'm getting the Nine of Pentacles next to the King of Swords. So here he is showing up, the King of Swords. Swords are thoughts and ideas, but it's also the air sign. So it's, potentially he might be a Gemini, a Libra, or what's the other one? Aquarius? Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. He might physically show up. So I pulled extra cards to see if he'll show up. It looks like he will. And this is the important thing, is the Nine of Pentacles showed up with it. And that's, I call it the self-made woman card. It's a card of independence. You need to maintain your independence and maintain self and not get lost in this. Be super careful, super, super careful if he does show up, because Nine of Swords, notice all the nines, Nine of Swords, Five of Cups. It may not end well. So, just be really careful, guard the heart, so to speak, and let's see. What else? I did want to go back here and before the end of the show, let everybody know that um, I'll mention the St. Patty's sale again. Don't forget that. To get that, you have to go over to mariagmoss.com. I'll put it in HTTPS Maria G Moss, two A's. Oop, Moss.com. And you can go over and grab this sale. I'll be here all week, and we're trying this experiment doing YouTube only. That's why you on this banner here you see live video stream on YouTube, and you don't see Blog Talk. But we're doing daily shows too, and all you have to remember is psychic.cafe/live. That URL will take you right to the live for the day. And then again, psychic.cafe/coffee. And I'm gonna be hammering this quite a bit over the next week or so. That because this is the direction we're eventually going, where we're gonna only take super chats until if we run out, we might go to a free question, but eventually we're only gonna do super chats, just so you know. Hang on while I take a swig of coffee. We're in the cafe after all, right? Mm. So run over there, psychic.cafe/coffee. Now, if I don't get to your question today, you can tune in tomorrow. Remember, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. London. So 11 a.m. on the West Coast, like LA, 2 p.m. on the East Coast, like New York City, and 7 p.m. in London. And so if I don't get to your call today, or sorry, we're not doing calls. If I don't get to your question in chat today, come back tomorrow. And to be sure that I get your question, and I'll take your question first, I'll spend more time with you. I'll pull extra cards and we'll take your question right away. No waiting. This is how you do it. Go over to psychic.cafe/coffee and then let me know that you bought a cup of coffee either by in between shows going over to my page, and that is psychic.cafe/dax, and message me. Now you've got to join the website first to message me, but it's free. Okay. And by the way, for everybody out there, come join our new community. It's free. You can hang out with us in between shows. You can get readings. Psychic.cafe/dax. Message me. This is my profile. Message me on my profile and say, hey, I went over to psychic.cafe/coffee and bought you a cup of coffee. And here's my name, and I'm gonna have a question in chat tomorrow. Or tomorrow, just pop into chat and say, hey, I bought you a cup of coffee yesterday. Here's my question, and you're gonna be, we're not gonna do anything. We're gonna skip everything, like the cards of the day, numerology of the day, the intros, everything. We're just gonna go right to your question and we're going to spend more time. That's the way you do it. Psychic.cafe/coffee. And I do want to remind you of the sale, which is still going on. See, St. Patty's Day. And it's all the month of March. So get it before it goes away. 75% off our lifetime membership, which is $297. So it's either one payment is 78, that's 75% off. That's the number of cards in the tarot deck, by the way. $78 or two payments of 39. That's right. So you can get started for just 39 bucks. And then next month you pay another 39 and you're paid up for life. No recurring fees. You get all of our panel discussions, workshops, live Q&As. You get certification free. That saves you $124. You can be a guest co-host on our shows. We promote you and your business. We set you all up on Psychic Cafe with, your custom URL and custom pages and your profile, and help you do all that and anything you need. And you get my course, my $297 Tarot by the Numbers course, free tarot and numerology course. And it's $39 starts you out. On that same page, psychic.cafe/sale, scroll down and you'll see my readings, $49.99. That's half price. And I include your numerology and all. Here, let me put this in the chat for everybody while we're talking about it. Psychic.cafe/sale. Oh, wait, that is a comma, not a period. We need to put a period. There we go. So it's psychic.cafe sale in order to grab that sale. And let's see. Still no news from Catherine Hahn. I talked to her last week. She had gotten sick again. She is going to be back next month with live shows. But meanwhile, she was going to record some shows. Still have not heard from her. I do not know what's going on. So I will try to do a live show on Friday in place of hers. If something comes up, I might have to take it off, but up till now, it looks like that's what's going to happen. And remember, every Sunday, you can get all your questions answered. If you're one of my students in my course, if you're a member of the guild and you want to ask questions about your business, if you want to ask general stuff about tarot and numerology and other psychic sciences, a whole bunch of us are there to answer your questions. If you want to ask about Psychic Cafe, our new community platform, it's a social networking community platform like Facebook, has all the same features as Facebook, only none of the negative stuff. It's all psychic stuff, all tarot, numerology, stuff like that, decks and books and everything, and us chatting with live instant messaging and private messaging and groups and blog posts, and you can post your events and everything there. If you have questions about how to use the features, how to set up your profile, all that kind of stuff, come to the Sunday meeting for that. If you have questions about getting certified through the guild, if you have questions about growing your business, that's what these live weekly Sunday live discussions and Q&As are for. We do them on Zoom. It's 1 p.m. Pacific, Los Angeles time, 4 p.m. Eastern, New York City time, 9 p.m. in London. And you only have to remember this URL, psychic.cafe/Zoom. So on Sunday at that time, actually you can come in, 15, 20 minutes, half hour before, because we already have the Zoom running and we can all chit chat before the meeting even. All you got to do is write this down, and every Sunday use this URL, psychic.cafe/Zoom, to get into the meeting. And then this Saturday, Michelle's Mystic Corner. It's the 4th episode ever. Yes. Michelle is going to be popping in, and I will be guest co-hosting with Michelle. Awesome. And Michelle wrote an article. If you go on the website, Psychic Cafe, and click on blog, or just scroll down here on the front page. This is our community. It's our full feed of everything, happening and so forth. And she did this blog post using a spread for both tarot and oracle cards. You got to read this. In fact, let me grab that URL while I'm thinking about it, because I always forget to do this stuff on the shows, because I'm worried about the phone lines and everything, which now I don't have to worry about. Okay, so this is Michelle's article. It's psychic.cafe/Michelle03172024. It's the date from yesterday. That's how we do our links for people's articles, is their name and the date they did it on. So go to her article and check that out. It's a really great article. And we'll be talking about this topic using a spread for both tarot and oracle cards on Michelle's Mystic Corner. In fact, the YouTube link for it and everything is right here on the article. I'm looking at it right now. Cool. But of course, you can subscribe to the channel. And as soon as you hit subscribe, hit that bell icon. You'll be notified when we're going live on Saturday. You don't even have to write it down. There we go. Psychic.cafe/live takes you to our live shows. So I think I covered pretty much everything coming up on the network and all. Hey, yeah, Michelle says, woohoo. See, I told you that's how it works, promoting the articles, promoting the shows. And we just have to remember to do it. See, that's the thing. There's so many things to remember to talk about. Wow, there's a lot to talk about. So, but if anybody out there, Michelle, Dan, Charlotte, Ellie when she pops in, the other hosts, lifetime members of the guild. If you write articles, let me know, and we'll promote them on these shows as well as our vast social media following as well, because we're all over the place, LinkedIn and Instagram, got two big accounts on Twitter, all of our Facebook pages and groups. Plus, we promote out on like 2 or 3 dozen really big, anywhere from 11,000 to 150,000 member groups for you. Okay. Gosh, we've almost gone 2 hours. Not really because of the delay getting started, but I need to get out of here. I'm just going to check real quickly if missed anything. I'm sorry if we don't get to your call to call your if we don't get to your question today. I'm sorry. I'm really rattled about all the technical issues we've had today. It's just ridiculous. See, we did Jamie's, we did seashells. But I wanted to take Ishika's or Ishika. I'm not sure how to say that. And this is going to be the last one because I got to get out of here. I really went, an hour long. Well, with the late start, I went about 40 minutes longer than I really wanted to. It was career and financial guidance. Will I clear my professional exam this term? I don't know what that means. Will you pass it? Is that what it means? I'm assuming that's what it means, but you never know. This is what I was talking about. A lot of times, that's the only bad thing about chat and text is, of course, some people you get them on the phone and you can't understand what the heck they're talking about. Anyway, but yeah, we're gonna pull cards real quick for Ashika and see what comes up with this. Okay, so yeah, I got 4 out of 5 yes cards. So there's your answer, Ashika. You will be able to clear your professional exam this term. Interesting stuff. So I got the 10 of Swords. So one door closes, another door opens. It's similar to the meaning of the Death card. There's something that you're ending right now, and it's like beating a dead horse. It's over, but the sun is dawning in the background, and it's a new day dawning. It's time to move forward. In your professional, and we often don't think of this because we separate, profession and career with everything else in our lives, but you really need to tap in to your psychic ability, your gut instincts, your intuition. Here's the high priestess showing up yet again. That you need to do that. Don't be afraid to take chances in your career. The Chariot card suggests victory. You're going to be able to move forward more in your career. The one thing is that he is these two sphinxes want to go in different directions, and so he has to pull them together with the reins, make them go straight. You may be pulled in a couple of directions. In fact, it may get really confusing, because here's the 7 of Cups. That's a lot of choices. You might have a lot of opportunities. The main focus card in the center is that Fool card that I was telling you about. So what I'm getting from that is, and looking at these other cards, The clue is look at the choice in your career path and the different ways to go, okay, and all these choices. The one that you're most trepidatious about, the one that you are most that's most outside of your comfort zone, that's the one you have to take the leap on. You just got to go for it. Take, do that one. Now, still use your intuition, but yeah, there's going to be all these opportunities, and you need to go the road less traveled, the harder road. Um, how else to put it? It's going to be the one that strikes the most fear in you. Okay. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So I got to get out of here. And I apologize again for all the, technical issues, but it was fun hanging out with everybody. Hopefully we won't, have those issues tomorrow. Somebody pull some cards on that for me, right? And seashells, you got to let us know, after you reprogram your dreams after a couple days or so. Actually, you could probably do it tomorrow, doing it overnight tonight, but I think that's too short of a time. Usually it takes a few days, maybe Friday, pop on, or, even on Michelle's show on Saturday, and let us know what happened with the officer that keeps kissing you. Okay. And, maybe you got, new information coming in. Alrighty. So yeah, I think we covered almost all the questions. If we did miss a question, I'm gonna be back tomorrow and probably Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and I'll be on the show with Michelle on Saturday, and I'll be back on Sunday with Pamela and possibly Ellie, and anybody else. By the way, Michelle, Charlotte, if you guys want to, pop on this Sunday, we could have a big giant show with like all of us. Oh, and I did want to lastly mention before I forget, this Wednesday, Michelle's going to guest co-host with me, and there's a possibility that the plan is for Charlotte to come on as well. So me, Michelle, and Charlotte, and but at least me and Michelle. At least Michelle will be guest co-hosting with me on Wednesday. So just a couple of days from now. So that's it, folks. Bye for now.